What do you think is an interesting aspect of why startups don't necessarily attract the best talent, but they transform talent into the best version of themselves?
I would contest, what the best talent is, right? Because when you are coming out of college at the age of 21, right, and you have maybe a few internships under your belt, you don't really know what you know, right? The main process in the first few years of your journey is actually unlearning a lot of things that you learned, right? Which were, they may be like even the way you were taught things, right? They may not be applicable in the real world. So what startups do and what good leaders do, number one, right, is that they are able to sell to their people, right? They are able to sell a vision to their people, right? And at the end of the day, right, what happens is that if you're a startup founder hiring, right, main thing that you look for, at least that's on at least how I would look at things, right, is that there is only so much of track record the person has, right? There's only so much experience that the person has. So how do I make this person like a superstar in their field? The way I look at it is that I figure out that where is the person's energy naturally inclined, right? Because I can tap into that. But if I give somebody who has an inclination for doing deep research and I put him into a sales role, right, he's not going to be able to do anything, right? And there's a quote which comes to mind which goes something like, everyone is smart in their own ways, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll live its life believing that it's stupid, right? So I think a lot of hiring in early stages or for these very young folks is also dependent on who is hiring, right? Can somebody see the potential in them? And that's what really good leaders and really good founders do very well, right? You spoke about some of the bigger startup names. That's what these guys did. They were extremely good salesmen. They were able to sell their vision to very young folks really well and then follow through on it. It's not just about being, an empty vase that you are, just making noise, but you sold a vision to them and you made them work for it, execute it, and they themselves saw the rewards for itself, right? So nothing motivates you like success, right? But the point is that you know that, hey, I need motivation to get successful and then that virtuous cycle to play out, but I don't know how that motion comes into play.
Right, how to get started.
So good founder is actually able to first sell and then give you that motion, right? So that virtuous cycle starts.
Very true, very true. Why don't we do something fun? Because I realized when you were talking, right, like how can we put this into context better? So if a startup today, let's put this situation, right? A startup will probably give you a lower salary, but will give you a better growth opportunity. So if a 22-year-old is graduating out of college and you have a startup offer, vis-a-vis, let's say there's a larger company, let's say, HUL, ITC of the kind, right? They give you a bigger package, they give you a better sort of like credibility, whatnot, right? But your growth opportunity is probably a bit more bracketed and, condensed because you won't get to grow as much. How do you evaluate these two?
That's actually very interesting because you have to realize at some point, right, that what do I want to do, let's say in a decade, right? Do I want to be operating as a standalone unit where I will need to get a lot of things done, or am I climbing the corporate ladder? There is nothing wrong with either decision, right? But if you think that, and it also depends, and this is spoken of much lesser, right, in the aspect of risk-taking abilities, right? If I have, for example, 20 crores in the bank, right, or my family does, I am much more, I can be a lot more riskier with my bets than somebody who does not have that backing.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So I think that kind of does not always come into the picture, right? There's never a templatized thing for it. But the way to look at it is that, look, how secure are you to begin with? And if you want that security, at least to set up your family, your base, and all of those things, take care of your parents, you might be better off taking that, the TCS or a consulting job, right? Because there's a structured approach there. As long as you perform and you do your job and what's expected of you, you will rise, right? Startups you can be the best salesman, you can be the best guy, right? But funding runs out, funding winter happens, see you later, right? So all you are left with at that point in time is just your skills, the experience that you got from that, right? For somebody like me at this point in time, that would make sense, right? Because hey, I'm walking out with my skills and abilities, right? I'll do it all over again. I'll do it all over again, right? Because probably I don't have that kind of burden.
Correct.
Right?
Your ability to take risk is just better.
My ability to take risk is this thing, and you have to conjoin it with the personality type that you are.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think those are my two things that I'll kind of take in parallel.
Hi, this is Raj Snehil Juneja. Thank you for watching. And for more such insightful content, like, share and subscribe.